heavyweight champion of the world. Shout out to TD Sports. TD Sports. Let's go, champ.
Yo, what is good? What is good? It's your boy Thomas from the Bronx, Tommy D, aka Tommy D, also known on Ring Talk Worldwide with my man Pedro Fernandez. And today we're going live on a Wednesday night. It's not going up on a Tuesday, but it's going up on a Wednesday night, a Wednesday evening, 7:05 approximately on the East Coast. And today we're going to do something different. Usually I try to have fighters on, maybe a promoter or a manager, even a cut man we've had on. But today I'm gonna do something a little different, start the trend. We did it last year with my man Jose on Fire, but today I'm gonna do it with my man, as you see on the screen, my boy Johnny Boy Boxing. I'm gonna bring him to the stage in a minute. We're gonna start doing these and just having a little fun with it with fellow media guys and fellow content creators, who cover the sport of boxing, as well as other sports as well. But we kind of focus more on boxing. On this channel, we talk football, baseball, whatever it is, even wrestling. But the focus is boxing. My boy Johnny Boy is doing big things. I've seen this guy in action work. He's a grinder. And just like my man Jose on Fire is the same way. And without further ado, let me bring my boy Johnny Boy to the stage. What's good, Johnny Boy? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, my brother? Thank you for having me on. Salute,
man. Yo, Johnny Boy, man, you done some big things. We're gonna pick your mind a little bit. We're gonna have some fun with it. Hopefully, some other people come in and talk from our media connections here in New York City. But you're a grinder, man. You've been all over the place. I think recently you was in Houston. I think like last month. With was it Dave Morrell's camp? You was there with Ronnie Shields, and then just recently today, I think you did an interview with Tiger Johnson. So we'll start off with that. How did that go with Tiger Johnson today?
Yeah, that was a good interview, man. He fights February 14th. That's going to be a hell of a card. You have Keyshawn Davis on there. I mean, Abdullah Mason. It's probably going to be the best card in the whole entire year. It's just getting started, so I look forward to see what other shows they put up, in the boxing community.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, because I just seen the card. I actually just got my ticket to the side. My broker just hit me up and just told me how much the price of the ticket. We won't talk about that. I'm also going to fill out for credentials as well, just like you. My boy Johnny Boy Boxing, he has his own channel. I'm going to put it in the chat in a minute and pin it so you guys can follow him. But Johnny Boy, you also work with one of the biggest media outlets in boxing, Fight Hype. Tell us about that, about Fight Hype.
Yeah, Fight Hype's been incredible, man. I have access to so many fighters, being at all the big events. We were just at the Tyson Jake Paul fight, even though it wasn't, it didn't turn out to be what we thought it would be. But the atmosphere in itself and all the celebrities and all the people that I was able to interview, it was well worth it. And just to say I went to a Mike Tyson fight, even though he was an older Tyson. But Fight Hype has been incredible. A lot of exposure for myself, for my channel, and everything. So shout out to Ben Thompson, the owner of Fight Hype. Shout out to my boy Kevin Garcia. He's the one that put me on, that plugged me into Fight Hype. I grew up with him in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. So Kevin Garcia, you guys got to check him out. He has a show live with Kate on Fight Hype. Check it. He interviews fighters live, and it's just amazing. So shout out to Fight Hype.
That's crazy that you brought up Kevin, because Kevin's a good dude. I know Kevin as well. He also, as he said, he works with Fight Hype. I see him at the fights. We text. He just wished me Happy New Year. I wish Happy New Year the other day. He might be the next guy I interview. I might bring him on, or maybe I might bring somebody next week, and then maybe him afterwards. Put y'all on the outer ends when you're not back-to-back Fight Hype. But I think he'll be a good interview as well, because he's all over as well. I believe he lives in Cleveland now. I think he was telling me so. But yeah, Kevin Garcia is a good dude. Another guy that does a lot of interviews, another grinder, and works with Fight Hype as well. I'm gonna just quickly go to the chat, see who's in the building, say what's up, because I see some people here that you may know as well. Man, my man D Free is in here. Salute to you, D Free. That's my co-host. Today I'm rocking by myself. D Free is always rocking with us here at TD Sports Talk and on the channel. D Free has a channel as well. Does great work. He knows a lot about boxing, sports in general. That's why I have him on here, So he kind of carries the show, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the queen, Tay Tay, the real queen of MMA Combat Sports Talk. She's from Long Island, Strong Island in New York City. She does great content as well as far as MMA. Shout out to Bruce Gas. Bruce Gas, another one with a great channel as well. Bruce Gas Boxing and more. I don't know if you know him, but he's really good with the heavyweight division. My man Brian Corbett. Shout out to my man Brian. He's also from I think he's as well. You know, he's from New York. Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV. Salute to you. That's my man Bruce Gas as well. Who else is here? You know who this guy? You know him very well.
Clarence in the house. All of them.
No Duck Zone podcast. My man Clarence is in here, and my man Al Ra right here from Pro Se from the World Boxing Bureau. You met him. I think you met him a couple times, but notably at the Keith Cologne's fight in Newark. He was there with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did the shirt that I had, the Keith Cologne shirt. That's my man Ryan right there. And who else is here? My man Mr. Shelton. Always joking. How you doing? It's an inside joke. So I'll tell you about that later. It's pretty funny. And who else? Let's see. That's it for now. But as they come in, I'll try to shout them out. But back to you, Johnny. Let's go with the basic questions. Your love for boxing. How did you get into the love for boxing?
I got into the love by boxing by getting bullied in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. I was a skinny kid, 140 pounds, soaking wet, and I just kept getting bullied. And I said, "Yo, I'm tired of this." So I said, I always watch fights, you know, since the 80s, 70s, and stuff. But I said, I got to learn how to defend myself, or else I'm just gonna be getting my jacket robbed, my sneakers taken, you know. So it was really difficult, especially in the 80s, 90s, living in New York City, and you know how it was a jungle. So when I went to boxing, I fell in love with the sport because I was able to defend myself. And now people couldn't take my jacket, they couldn't take my sneakers. Now, you know, you were able to fight and protect yourself. So I just fell in love with the sport, and then I started, taking different elements from different fighters and trying to implement that in my game, in my street game, because we're fighting in the street at first, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'd have success, and then as you win and you continue to win, you get more, more confidence, and then the love just grew. And then I started to attend the fights and stuff. So it was just amazing. So boxing literally saved my life.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's a lot for a lot of fighters in general, right? Like, you know, that's why they ended up taking up the sport and going to the gym and, you know, becoming fighters and, you know, eventually taking it seriously. And then, of course, back then, not a lot of people were into like the video games like they are now, and you didn't have the internet and stuff like that. People actually went outside and actually did things and played in the parks. And, you know, like me, I was always in the park playing ball, basketball, you know, baseball and stuff like that. So, you know, man, salute to you. So with that being said, any particular gyms you went out and worked in that we know, notable gyms out in?
Yeah, I come from Brooklyn Bed-Stuy, so do or die Bed-Stuy. Riddick Bowe came out of that gym. Mark Breland briefly trained me when I was younger, but I was into the street and I wasn't being focused because the money wasn't coming in so fast. So you want to get that fast money in the street, and then you waiting for all those titles. You don't know if you're really gonna make it as a fighter. So I just took it as to protect myself and just, build my craft. But Marcus Garvey and Gates, Bed-Stuy boxing gym there, a lot of fighters would come down. Van the Holyfield would come down. So we would see all these fighters, and it was a really good experience being there. And sometimes, like I live in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's like the neighboring neighborhood to Bed-Stuy. So you have to walk to the gym. You get into fights just walking through the jungle, just trying to get to the gym. So it was like you're getting practice on the way to the gym, and then you get in the gym and you got to spar somebody. So it was like, it was crazy, but it was a great experience, man. It taught you a lot.
So with that, so you said you work with Mark Breland. How was that? Do you still have a relationship with Mark Breland in any type of way, or? The
last time I saw Mark. Yeah, the last time I spoke to Mark was at Pernell Whitaker's funeral. I went down to Virginia. I drove down there and I saw him, and we were hanging out and stuff like that. But he's married now, so his wife really controls everything. So it's kind of difficult to reach him. And I talk to people. We all say the same thing. It's like, man, you can't even get in touch with him without getting in touch with her. She starts sending the texts back. So it's like, oh man, because things that Mark would never say. Oh, that's not Mark. That's his wife. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's hard to get in touch, but that was the last time that we spoke at Pernell's funeral.
Okay, man, that's what's up, man. And yeah, I know what it's like to I'm not even going to talk about it because my wife is here, so she may hit me upside the head. But yeah, but she runs the show. So I guess Mark Breland, same situation.
Yeah, she's the boss. yeah, that's how it is, you know.
Salute to my man, Crush the Legend, man. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. I was going to bring this up now, but being that you just brought up Pernell Whitaker's funeral, there was another funeral you went to where you ended up finding out that you was related to a current superstar boxer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Okay, so my cousin, you know, my cousin Alfredo Rivera, he's from the Lower East Side Projects, Smith Projects in Manhattan, and he passed away. We're 6 months apart in age. So he passed away, and I had heard rumors that a certain fighter was his son. So I said, yeah, right. I don't, you know, they're playing with me. I thought they were teasing me, my family, because they know I love boxing so much. So they're like, yo, this is your cousin. So I went to the funeral. It was a sad, you know, real sad and stuff like that. And come to find out, Shakur Stevenson pulls up, comes into the fight, comes into the funeral, and he wants to see his father, Alfredo Rivera. So Shakur Stevenson is my cousin. Wow. So I met him there. We spoke, took pictures and everything. And I was so excited. I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm sad, but then I'm excited. So it's like a bittersweet feeling. So, you know, I wish them all the best and stuff. I don't have like this great personal relationship with Shakur, but I was able to meet with him, connect with him, so he could see like the Puerto Rican side of his family and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And then now that I'm doing the reporting, so now it makes it even easier. I'm in touch with his mother, so I speak to his mother. I'm going to try to get an interview soon, but you know, he's on the superstar status. Yeah. Like, just think about it. Like, if you won the lotto today, you know how many cousins would come out of the woodwork. Yo, Thomas, I'm your cousin. What's up?
Yeah.
So now me coming, he's like, yo, now you trying to come? I'm on top of the world. But, you know, he doesn't know how I love the sport so much. So he'll start to see my name ringing bells when I'm doing all these interviews and stuff. His mom is, you know, I'm in touch with his mother and stuff. And matter of fact, I have to do his grandfather, Wally Moses, tomorrow. Wally called me today. So I'll be doing an interview with Wally tomorrow.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's cool, man. And definitely he's going to know because, listen, I've seen you and, you know, just for me being in general, like even at the Prudential Center for Shakur's fight, like you was doing a lot of interviews. I believe you did, you know, Keyshawn Davis, who's Abdullah Mason, you know, so eventually they're gonna know, like, yo, this guy really does this, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's not a problem. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that, how you maneuver, how you grind and stuff like that. We'll get to it. Shout out to my man, the War Report, my man Oddfella. Thanks for coming through. Salute to you, bro. Salute.
War Report.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that's pretty cool, man. You know, and it kind of solidifies that Shakur is really half Puerto Rican, right? So
yeah, absolutely. You know, you know it's the truth. It's not like, you know, he's representing, you know.
You know, speaking of Shakur, right now he's training heavy, and he's had his camp has been deep. How I know this because I know a fighter that was there. You know, he had a few good sparring partners really working with him in his camp in Houston. I don't know if he was there or not, but he's been working ready for this Schofield fight. He's taking it really seriously. You know my boy Ofacio Falcone, right, from the Bronx.
Yeah.
He was there to work with Shakur, and you know I'm looking to have him on sometime this weekend, maybe next weekend. I got to talk to him so he could tell us about that experience. He's looking to get a fight hopefully in March, I believe. He was looking to be on the February card in the Garden, but as you see and heard, that lineup is stacked. But yeah, I'm looking to talk to him to talk to us about that. I heard Raymond Ford was there. I think Tiger Johnson was there as well. I don't know if he told you that when you spoke to him today.
No,
he didn't mention it, so maybe
we didn't talk about that.
Okay, because I thought I saw him in the background, and a couple other fighters there. But yeah, so Shakur is really working hard for this fight. Just let's throw it out there. Quick prediction since it's in February. What you have in that fight? No bias aside. No bias. Shakur versus Schofield. How you think that goes down?
Okay, no bias aside. If I wasn't related to Shakur, then I still would pick with Shakur because if you look at just the numbers wise, he only gets hit on average 4 punches per round. At the same time, Floyd Mayweather was getting hit 6 punches per round. So right now, at this particular time, he's a better fighter than Floyd defensively. I'm not saying offensively, but defensively, he doesn't get hit. Now, a lot of people say that he's running and he's thinking, but he's really boxing, you know, if you really pay attention. But people want to see knockouts, so I totally understand why they're upset and they want to see him engage more. You know, if he works on that, on his aggression and works on the offense, I think that he'll be a more fan-friendly fighter.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I agree. I think I got Shakur. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Shakur stops Schofield in like the 10th or 11th round. I think he stops him late. I think he frustrates Schofield. I think Schofield's going to come in and try to, you know, be on the front foot and try to be aggressive early on. And I think Shakur is just going to outclass him, frustrate the kid. You know, he is a kid, you know, and in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, I don't think he's ready for this type of fight. And I think he gets frustrated. And I think we see something a little bit extra from Shakur. And I think he closes the show and embarrasses him late. And what I mean embarrasses him, like he whips him to like he's pretty much gonna quit. So I could see Schofield quitting like the 10th or 11th round. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Shakur by stoppage. You know, that's not the friendly pick, but I'm gonna go out and say it right now. So
definitely. I like Floyd Schofield. He's an aggressive fighter. He has fast hands. Tremendous punching power. I think he'll set himself up, you know, to try to win some of those rounds. But he has to let his hands go. That's the way you're gonna, you know, have some success against Shakur. You have to let your hands go and throw punches from weird angles, so he doesn't time you and then doesn't know, you know, the range and the distance. So you can break that range of distance and just be wild, unpredictable with your punching. But I think he'll have a few rounds. He'll have success, you know, going if he fights like that. And we don't know about Shakur Stevenson. He had the hand injury. He had surgery. We don't know if it's healed 100%. So that may be a factor that gives Floyd, you know, an opportunity to capitalize on that and you know, do some work, win some rounds.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's going to be one of the questions I asked Ofacio when we speak to him about how is his hand and stuff, you know, the injury and sparring. So that's a very good point. So I believe the camp in Houston is kind of ended. I think they're going to go to Vegas and finish camp up in Vegas. That's what I heard. But that's we'll find out more. I'm sure you'll find out as well. 2024 ended. I thought it was a decent year for boxing, but 2025 seems like it's going to start off good. I think the first 3 months, like from January 1st, we already started today with Jai Opetaia. I don't know if you saw the fight this morning. I mean, I thought it was a great fight. I thought that other guy, Nakaya, came in and he came in to win. And I think he buzzed. I thought he buzzed Opetaia in like the second round, you know, and then Opetaia eventually, you know, overwhelmed him and, you know, hurt him. And I think he dropped him in the third and finished him brutally in the fourth round. So did you get a chance to see that fight?
I missed that fight, man. I was running around crazy, but I was hearing all the talk. They were like, yo, this is what happened. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. I'm definitely gonna check it out though.
Yeah, it's only 4 rounds, so you can catch it quick. So. But it was a good fight. It was entertaining for 4 rounds, so a good way to start the year. We already spoke about the Valentine's Day. That's a Friday, February 14th in the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Keyshawn Davis against the Ukrainian Baranchek, something like that. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
That card is loaded. Xander's on the card, Polanco, Tiger Johnson's on the card. I know I'm missing a couple other people. They even got Nico Walsh, Ali Walsh is on the card.
Yeah, Nico Walsh, they got him.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty fired up. This is one of the better cards. It's crazy. It's in the theater, so I think it's going to sell out quick. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. I think they're going to sell out quick because, you know, they only fits like 5,500 people in the theater. So, do you think they're going to get a sellout?
I just interviewed Tiger Lopez. He said it was sold out. I don't know if I don't know. You saying it's coming out tomorrow, right? The tickets, but he said, maybe the access that he has, that those are gone. So he doesn't have those. He said, I know that's going to be a crazy fight. There's going to be a lot of celebrities in attendance, fighters, former fighters. So that we definitely going to be in the building for that one. I look forward to that one. That's
I already got a guy on hold. So if it's sold out, my tickets on hold, so I'm good. And then I hope to get a credential as well. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I think the pre-sale might have been today, so that could be accurate. maybe the pre-sale,
Yeah,
they might have sold out today because it's
maybe
supposed to go on
that's
sale,
what it.
yeah, tomorrow for the public. I think Keyshawn Davis's
That,
brother's going to be in the card too. Keon Davis, I think he's going to be on the card as well. I know I'm forgetting one because it's like a triple main event. Oh, and the guy you did the interview with when we went to the Prudential Center, Malenki, Vito, the Italian kid,
Vito Milianki.
Yeah, he's going to be on the card.
I'm interviewing him next week, Vito.
Okay.
And he wants to get it on with Xander Zayas.
He said that there with us. I was like, wow. And listen, when and this is one of the questions I'm going to ask you as a journalist and somebody in the media. I don't like to show fair favors. Obviously, I always root for the New York local guys and I root for the Puerto Rican guys. I have a bias when it comes to that, but I let people know. But I try to be fair down the middle as far as who I think I win, as far as who I'm rooting for. Me personally, I root for everybody. Like, I want to see everybody win, everybody do well. I don't never want to sound as a hater and wish for somebody to lose. I rather wish they would win. And if they lose, so be it. So with that being said, it was pretty weird because I like Xander and he was talking, he wasn't talking reckless, but he said he definitely want to fight him. I believe they sparred before. So I think that's why he feels that he would fight him. I think that'll be a good fight. Vito's got to be a little bit more active in the ring. As far as punches wise, because his last fight in the Garden, I wasn't really impressed. I thought it was a close decision that he won. He can't do that with Xander. So, he takes a good punch, but with Xander, he can't do that. So if he does get that fight, God bless him. God bless him. Let's go on to another fight in February. David versus David. You was in Houston. You was in the Morrell camp. Tell us a little bit about that. How was that?
I mean, when I went down, obviously Benavidez is the favorite in Vegas. Most people are picking him to win, based on his resume, his the Mexican monster, his reputation. But when I saw David Morrell, how focused he was and how his sparring was, and him hitting the bag and him just training in general, I was like, wow, he's a slick Cuban fighter. He's a great counterpuncher. He knows how to take away the gifts that the other fighter has, and he has that power and that explosive power. So I'm leaning towards Morrell. Maybe I was convinced because of my trip spending time with them and their camp and stuff, but I'm going with Morrell. I know Benavidez. Most people are going for Benavidez, but I like Morrell in this fight, man. And I think he'll stop him in the later rounds. Shockingly.
Wow, that's
the bad blood. Because of the bad blood, because he sparked the fire in them.
I think so. I think they don't like each other, and I think obviously from the last time they met in the last I guess what do you call it the pre-fight interview or whatever they were doing. Obviously there was. I agree with you up until you said stoppage. I'm also picking Morrell. I'm also think Morrell beats.
Okay.
But I don't know if he stops him. I don't think he stops. I think they'll go to decision. I think Morrell wins a decision. I think it's going to be a good fight. But I see Benavidez getting hit way too much. And Benavidez, he's strong. And what wins fights for Benavidez? His work rate. He throws a lot of punches. Yep. But that could be his downfall as well. As a counter puncher is Morrell. So it's going to be interesting. And Benavidez, he has power, but it's not one punch knockout power. Like he overwhelms you. So it'll be interesting. A lot of people saying Benavidez may stop him. So I'm really intrigued in this fight. It's going to be a good card as well. That's another good fight in the first quarter. Let's go on to another good fight in the first quarter of the year. March 1st. I'm assuming you're going to be there too. That's in here in New York, Brooklyn, in the Barclays. Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. What do you think about that fight? And do you think the Tank is really focused on this fight? Because there's a lot of things going on. You're in the press, you're in the media, you hear the things. What is your perspective of Tank Davis and his approach in this fight?
I think Tank Davis is an incredible talent. I just don't know if he's there because of so much money that he's made in his career. If you remember, Marvelous Marvin Hagler said it's hard to wake up when you're sleeping in 6 silk pajamas and go running because the money's there, the car's there. You're not fighting like when he was in an orphanage or a shelter or whatever when he was younger. Now he's touched the top of success. A lot of people say, if he retired today, would he be in the Boxing Hall of Fame? I don't know. He doesn't have that resume. Does he have that hunger to continue? So Lamont Roach moving up, I don't think that that's even matchup. I think that Tank Davis is gonna knock Lamont Roach out, and there's no shame on Lamont Roach. I think he's a great fighter, but I think there's levels to this and weight classes for a reason. I think that they have that history being from the DC, Virginia area, Maryland, but I think that he knows him, but that was a while ago. And Tank is not looking to play and box with you. Tank wants to knock you out. And when he gets serious, that's the worst thing that you want. That's the last thing that you want from Tank. You don't want him upset at you.
Yeah.
Even though he was more upset at us, at the media, for asking questions and stuff. And Lamont Roach's team, he was aggravated there at the Barclays. He's like, yo, I'll bet you 100,000, to one of Lamont Roach's friends. I'll bet you 100,000 I knock him out. All right, now you just motivated him. So now, but I don't know where he's at because he's saying he wants to retire, So just Gervonta Tank Davis is a beast. I think he's gonna knock out Lamont Roach. And then we'll have to go from there. We'll see what happens after that if he's going to continue to fight. I think he's going to continue to fight because I think he likes to play mind games so that Lamont Roach won't train and say, oh, listen, the fight's off. I'm canceling the fight. Then Lamont takes off a week. Then, okay, I'm retiring after this. All these mind games are playing into Lamont Roach. He hasn't been on the big stage. But Tank has done this over and over again, So I'm definitely picking Tank Davis. I'll see you there at the fight. We'll be live, So that's going to be a hell of a night.
Real quick, let me go to the chat. My man Jab Jamboree, the Act Reacher. Salute to you, bro. Thanks for coming through. My man DP Rocker, salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Rocker. Angel Diaz, he knows Morrell. He's in Cuba right now. He's Team Morrell all day. Salute to you, Angel. And my man BBO Boxing. He says salute to my favorite Puerto Rican. He says that to every Puerto Rican he meets, by the way. But salute to you, BBO. Angel says Tank's going to knock him out. Wait till they jump in the ring. I agree. I think Roach will give him some problems early on, just like every pretty much Tank fight. Tank gets hit pretty much early on, and he feels you out. He gets the timing, and then eventually it's lights out. So I think it's going to be the same thing. I want to see a good fight. I think Roach is a good fighter. I think they'll have a good game plan. I don't think it's going to be as easy as many people think. I think Tank does get him out of there, but I think it'll be late. I think it'll because Roach will make a mistake late in the fight, and it's going to be one of those where Roach is looking good the whole fight, and it's like, oh my God, is it possible that Roach could pull up the upset? Like I think in your mind, like I think he's winning on the cards, he's looking good, and then I think Tank stops him in like the 9th, 10th round. That's my prediction, but hopefully it's a good fight. It's going to be a good card. I believe Rayo is supposed to fight Russell on the card. I think that's a very good fight. Another opportunity for Gary Anton Russell to win a title. Rayo's a good fighter as well. You saw what he did with Pitbull Cruz. Good guy. And, I think that's going to be a hell of a fight. That might steal the show. So that's another good card. Hold on one second. Oh, my man BBO. Thanks, BBO, with the super chat, super sticker. My man BBO with the appreciate you, bro. He said, Johnny, Tommy stole my mother's color TV. You see, he always get at the Yeah. So
no, that's crazy. So you're right about that. Rayo. One second, you're right about the Rayo fight. The Rayo that's gonna steal the show. And Russell, that's definitely a bet because I think that the only reason why Lamont is gonna have success in the early is because Tank gives up those early rounds. And he's figuring you out. He has the best timing in boxing, but being that he has the best timing, he's trying to figure you out and study you, and you're losing all those rounds. You cannot do that with a Shakur Stevenson who's going to be on the back foot, just building a points lead. You know what I mean? So if Lamont can do that and stay away and hold and tie him up, if Frank Martin was having success, that's what he had to do. He had to hold. That's what you got to do with Tank. You got to hold and let the fans boo, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I agree. That big time. That's why I think they're gonna have a game plan. I think he's gonna be able to hold on for like longer than a Frank Martin. I think but I think he's gonna make a mistake and get caught, and then eventually get taken out of there. So I can see 9th, 10th round, Tank gets him out of there. But people will start to worry like, oh wow, like could it be? And then boom, it's over. That's what I think is gonna happen. Yeah, that's a prediction. That's it. I'm gonna ask you some general questions, just as a guy that does interviews, as a guy that grinds, and then we'll get into some other stuff, and then we'll go home. And we're already home, but we'll end it. But when you're doing these interviews, like when you go to these fights and you go to these pressers and stuff like that, how do you typically research a story beforehand to get like to know what you're gonna ask?
I'm looking at all Boxing 24 News, Twitter, everything. Their social media, the other YouTube channels, seeing what they're speaking about. What's the vibe? You know, what fighters are they talking about? And looking for the news and any topic, even off topics, things that don't have to do with boxing, like their personal lives. So you can come with different questions than other reporters. You know, everybody asks the same thing with Gervonta Tank Davis. Oh, are you gonna fight Shakur? Are you gonna fight Devin Haney? You're gonna fight Teofimo, his weight class? You know, he's used to that. So you throw him off with something, you know, respectful, because you don't want to get them upset. You know, asking a personal question could definitely fire them up, and then they'll be like, listen, I'm not dealing with that reporter. So you got to be respectful, be nice and stuff, and just research the information and then go for it. And then sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, you know. But most of the time they're cool.
And that's true, because sometimes, you know, even me, I'll be like hesitant, and me, I just feel like as an older guy, I feel I'm pretty much older than all these fighters. Like, it just feels weird approaching. I just feel like I don't want to come across aggressive or come across, but sometimes that's something you have to do. I see you do it. I see Jose's another guy that does it, you know, Kevin, you know, and that's what you do. But yeah, that's pretty good. And nowadays, it's not like the past. The media, it's not much, you know, there's newspapers not really writing about boxing anymore. You don't have the big platforms. ESPN don't really talk boxing. Basically, the media is basically YouTube. It's some of these boxing websites now, you know, and you got a couple of podcasts on the radio, Sirius, and stuff like that. That's the boxing media. That's what we have to use our research for. And Instagram is great because, and it's always great when these fighters actually have their own Instagram and manage their own Instagram. You know, it makes it easier for us to, you know, get information about them and then ask these questions. So I'm glad you said that. That was a good answer. And because that's what I would say. That's why I get my research. You know, if I'm not going on there, then I'm going to Johnny Boy Boxing and I'm checking out an interview to see what he asked them. And then I might rephrase that question, and you know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. And that's what a lot of people do, you know. So next question. I wrote some of these down so I could be a little bit professional. So
no, it's all good.
What are some of the biggest challenges? What are some of the biggest challenges when you're trying to get a story or an interview?
I guess like trying to get through the team, because sometimes the fighter won't give you his direct contact, and you have to work through the team, and they don't want to give you the contact. So it's like, man, but you want to get big fighters and stuff. So that's a challenge sometimes, you know, to get above. If you can get to a fighter, especially like at the hotels, I love working the hotels. I don't know about you, but the hotels is more a calm, laid-back environment, and then you can catch the fighter, you know, walking off by himself, and then now you can have a conversation with him. You introduce yourself politely. Yeah, my name is Johnny Boy. I work at Fight Hype. You know, I would love to interview you. And usually 95% of the time they cool and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem, you know. But when you're in that atmosphere where you're at the fight and everybody's attacking, all the reporters, all the fans, you can't really, it's hard to speak to them, you know. So I like to catch them in a hallway or somewhere else, and it's just like everything's nice and calm and cool, and they're more they're willing to talk to you and exchange numbers with you and stuff like that.
Nice. Real quick before I speak about that, shout out to Shao Alaya. Thank you for coming through. Salute to you. Blessings to you as well. Appreciate you. She's please subscribe to her channel. She does great boxing content as well, and she's just an overall great person. Who else is up in here? Angel Diaz is back in there. That's Jose Diaz, aka Angel Diaz. And let me just make sure who else is in here. I want to make sure. PGH Big Dog, salute to you, bro. Hope all is well. Thanks for coming through. Good luck with your Steelers this weekend. Shelton, I think that video that Shelton posted is a funny video of me and somebody. So check that out if you want to laugh. Shelton's a jerk. Yeah, so let me get it off. But yeah, so that to add to what you said, the hotel is a good environment to get interviews. I see a lot of people get interviews in the lobbies of hotels. I've met a few fighters and a few people in the hotel where I may not do an interview, but we'll get a picture or I'll get their number and I'll try to have them on and we'll talk, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a more calmer environment than at the fight. At the fight, it's craziness. It's craziness. But Johnny Boy, he goes through the craziness. I'm gonna tell you, the last fight we went to was in the Garden for me, and he was there. And the ticket, I gave you the ticket because I was able to get credentials.
That's it.
Was for,
That's all because of Thomas.
Yeah, Sharita Metcalf for Yoshida, and who was in there? The biggest woman star in boxing, or one of the two biggest women stars in boxing. She is the biggest. The GOAT, Clarissa Shields, and who's there? I'm here looking for Johnny Boy, and where's Johnny Boy at? Johnny Boy is in the back doing an interview with Clarissa Shields. How did you get that? Your approach to getting, to Clarissa, how was that? Because I didn't expect it. You was just like, boom, there.
As soon as I see them, that's like prey. You just got to go and attack. So I talked to another reporter. As a matter of fact, Kevin Garcia was trying to hook me up with another reporter to talk to Clarissa. So I wasn't going to wait for that because the opportunity had come. She had walked right past me. So I introduced myself. I said, listen, can I get this interview before the fight start? Boom, went right to the back, had her sign 2 boxing gloves, courtesy. That's thanks to you, Thomas. Forget, I got the 2 gloves signed. I got the interview. We got like 126,000 views on Fight Hype, so that's all. Shout out to Thomas. Everybody know that Thomas is the man. He's the one that gave me the ticket so I could make it to the fight. And that was like you just called me out of nowhere. Yo, you want to come to the fight? I was like, yo, bet. He's like, Clarissa might be there, and she was there, and that was all because of him. So now I got the gloves. Super props to you, Thomas. But so then I just went from there.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. Because Johnny Boy always finds a way, and that's just one event that I've seen him do it. So like after you got that interview with her, like we was looking for you. It was me and who was I with? I was with somebody else because Jose was gone too. So or maybe it was Jose.
Yeah.
But we saw it was like, oh look, there goes Johnny Boy. He's with Clarissa, and then Jose does the interview with Clarissa, and then I'm there. On my camera. It's me and David. I think David from PYP Boxing. David,
yeah, that's right.
He was there. And so we were there and we went, and when Jose did the interview, then we introduced ourselves. We said, what's up? We took a picture, but that was pretty, but of course you was the first one there with Clarissa in the back there. So that was pretty cool. It was a good night. Sharita Metcalf was there. I got in touch with her last year, the year before. So we've been like back and forth talking. I haven't had her on the show yet, but I got to hang out with her after the fight. That was a cool experience. Her and the team, Maurice, Booker or Hooker, I can't. He was there, and it was a great night. And after she won the title, but another time was the Keith Cologne fight in his second fight. So you didn't even have credentials. You had the ticket. I had the credentials. What happens? Me and Clarence are talking. I was like, yo, where's Johnny Boy at? This guy Johnny Boy's in the locker room with Dre, with Andre Rozier, right? He was in the locker room with Andre, like doing an interview. I was like, how did he get in the locker room? He had no credentials, no pass or nothing. He just had the Johnny Boy boxing shirt with his camera, and boom, like so. I mean, how did you do that? You got over the rail into like the ring entrance and just like boom, got an interview with Dre.
I just talking about Andre Rozier. I had we were supposed to do an interview yesterday, a Zoom interview yesterday, so I got to reschedule that. Hopefully, in a couple of days, I'll have Andre Rozier. We'll get that interview in. But as soon as I see security, I've been going to the fights for 25 years. My first fight was Pernell Whitaker, Felix Trinidad, in 1999 for my birthday. But I've been watching fights before that since the 80s. But that was the first event. So I noticed how security moves. As soon as they move their face and they change, look another way, I just sneak right past the rail. Now I'm in there. Now they assume that you're supposed to be there if you act comfortable. So then what I did is I just threw up my camera with my stand, and I'm just followed one of the coaches that Andre Rozier was. So I just walked with him, and I knew they wouldn't stop it because I'm interviewing him. That interview got me into the locker room as we walked past all security. Once I'm in it, and now I'm in the room, I'm like, all the fighters are there, all the team is there. Saddam Ali is there. I got his interview, and now I'm just waiting, and I'm just waiting for everybody to calm down. Then I got the Andre Rozier. So you just got to move like a ninja and just pretend like you're supposed to be there, and then as soon as they move their face, just jump in. Don't even wait,
Very ninja-like. That's great.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Check this out. Speaking of David, there he goes. PYP Boxing. Look what he said.
David,
I remember this thing
my boy.
He says, we'll never forget Johnny Boy running down Tim Bradley on the street when he wasn't trying to talk to nobody that day. And you got the interview with him. He
a quick one. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I just moved with him. I said, you know what, I'm gonna ask him, and then he gave me a shout out at Johnny Boy Boxing. So I said, yo, Tim, I appreciate it. Then I caught him like a couple months later, and he gave me a long interview. I walked with him for like 10 minutes. So I
okay.
appreciate that was a good one. But you just got to try. You don't have anything to lose. It doesn't hurt to just ask and see the vibe. Then they'll remember
Yeah,
you, and then you can build that relationship.
yeah. Nah, that's what's up. And see, look, there's another witness. As you see, I don't lie. Like David was there. He saw when it happened. He ran out of the hotel, chased him down. So I mean,
I'm like a madman.
But the best was when not the Clarissa Shields was pretty cool because I was like, where is he at?
Yeah,
there.
So.
The Keith Cologne fight, you was over the rail in the locker room. I was like, yo, this guy right here. But Andre Rozier is a good dude. He's a good guy. He was supposed to come on our show months ago, but we had trouble. I never got a chance to call him back, but I have his number. He's a good dude. I'm gonna try to get him on. I'm waiting for him to get another big fight or something, and then I'll try to maybe get him on beforehand. So, but yeah, he's very good person, easy to speak to also. So, and Andre's been around a long time.
Absolutely. I'll talk to him for you when I get that interview. I'll tell him, yo, my boy Thomas is looking for you.
All right. I got a couple more questions. Let me get into it too. But shout out to you, David, at PYP Boxing. That's another guy I'm going to bring up on the show too. Yeah, he does great work as well. Him and his boy out in I believe he's in Houston. They're from Texas, so they do great work down there. So here's an interesting question. Have you ever had to fact check a fighter? Or if not a fighter, maybe a promoter or anybody did an interview, fact checked them, maybe caught them, said, question them, their integrity, or question if they were telling the truth and say, no, this is the truth. Have you ever had to do that?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I'm trying to think of where Eddie Hearn, but no, not off the top of my head. I don't think so. They try to keep it real as well, I guess, as best as possible. But
Eddie Hearn be lying.
They're trying to promote their fight. Yeah. You be catching them in lies?
No, but you can catch him when the interviews he does on other people's channels and other interviews he does. It's like, he's lying. And then a friend of mine, Drew Titan, he caught him in a lie, and he's posted it a bunch of times. Just not him doing it. He interviewed him once. He got to ask him a question, but I don't think he answered the question. But he's brought it up on his channel multiple times. So yeah, so he be lying. That's why I said so you never really.
So I'm gonna look to fact check him.
Okay. Yeah. So hold on. Shout out to my man 903 Boxing. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. And my man William Old School. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through, William Old School. Appreciate you guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. I got a couple more questions. So this is probably the last question. So name maybe 2 of your favorite interviews you ever done, and then give me 2 of the worst interviews ever done.
Okay,
there's got to be somebody that kind of flipped you off or something.
I already got that one, but one of my favorite interviews is Jim Lampley, because I always look up to him as a reporter, and I got to speak to him and talk to him. So that one was a really good one.
Okay.
And probably it was a quick one, but I'm trying to think like Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya probably was another one, and then speaking to him off camera as well. That was a good one. I'm looking to get a long one with Oscar De La Hoya. Before all the antics and you knew all the stuff that he did. Like that was my guy in the '90s. You know what I mean? Before he got caught with all this crazy. Now he's a different person, but he was a great fighter and he never ducked anybody. So I really like Oscar De La Hoya. That was a good interview. And then the worst interview that I ever did. I think David was with us at PYP Boxing. I don't know if Jose Fire was with us. Marco Boxing was with us. Bernard Hopkins. So Bernard Hopkins, I was interviewing him. Everything was cool. And then I asked him a question. I said, yo, can you give us a shout out? Something like that. And he was like, oh, yo, he's like, why I got to do that? Why I got to do this? So it started getting awkward. So everybody was like looking, and they were like, yo, what's going on? So I thought we was going to scrap. So then I was like, nah, I was like, yo, I think you're a great fighter. Whatever. I was just giving you, he's like, we were just going back and forth, but I was trying to be respectful. Then he was like, oh, now you want to blow me. So I was like, yo, what? I was like, what you talking right now with that? So
what's crazy? I heard about the story about that with Bernard Hopkins. I didn't know it was with you. That's
Yeah,
great.
that was
He did something. He said, "Oh, now you wanna blow me or something like that." Now, like
yeah,
I forgot who brought it
that
up. It might have been Drew Titan, but my boy Drew Titan. It might have been him, and might have been another channel, but I didn't know it was you. That I've heard about this story that he was hurt, and then he did he end up doing it? Like he ended
no,
up
he
saying,
was at Gleason's. Yeah, it was at Gleason's, and then he was like, "Yo, now you want to blow me?" Because I gave him a compliment, or whatever. I was like, "Yo, what?" Like for like a split second, I was like, "Yo, I'm about to lose it all. I'm gonna set it off, catch Bernard Hopkins, and then I'll take my beating." I don't think I'm gonna beat Bernard Hopkins. I'm just gonna set off a punch, and then for you throwing that Puerto Rican flag that time, I'm gonna set it off for the island, and then I'm gonna set it off for this disrespect, and I'm gonna get washed. I already know Bernard's gonna wash me, but they're gonna respect that I landed that punch. So then I was like, "What?" And then he switched it, and he was like, "Nah, I'm just playing." He put his arm around me. He's like, "Yo, shout out to Johnny Boy Boxing." And then he gave me his shout out. But I'm not acting like I'm some tough guy, whatever. I know that Bernardo, he'll wash me, but I'm still gonna fight. You know what I mean? So I was like, I thought it was gonna get crazy.
I swear to God. As a matter of fact, when this live is over, I'm gonna try to call Drew and see if he remembers that. And I'll be like, "That was Johnny Boy." And then because I don't know if he knows you, because I remember him saying it. It was like I remember him saying it. I think it was last year, the year before, and he was like, because they were getting at Bernard, because Bernard isn't acting funny lately. Like I mean, overall in general in the media and stuff. And then they brought that up. I didn't know it was with you. That is crazy. But
what's crazy now was crazy now, and now every time I see Bernard, he gives me a shout out, comes up to me, "Yo, what up, man? What's going on?" So I'm like, "All right, cool, it's all good. I forgot about it. You know, I'm not childish."
Yeah, that's cool because he remembers you now, and he knows he was wrong to do that. Nah, that's
exactly.
That's good. Yeah. Wow, man, that's crazy.
So that was the worst one, but then now it's cool, you know.
Yeah, man, I might have told him, "Yo, go fuck yourself" or something like that. I mean, sorry for cursing. I might have told him that you disrespecting like that, you know. So
I was just sizing him up. I'm gonna. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I said no. I was sizing him up because once he said that, I was just looking at his tempo. I wanted to hit him in equilibrium because I know it's gonna be a rough and tough. Once I crack him, I already know he's gonna come right back. So I wanted to try to two-piece him, and then that's it, you know. But thank God that nothing happened. You know, shout out to Bernard Hopkins. You know, he's a legend, and it's all good. You know,
definitely a legend. But slick with the mouth like that, you got to show some sort of respect. You know, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we all bleed the same way. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man. You know, at the end of the night,
absolutely. You know. Yeah. Okay. That was it. I mean, you know, this was great, man. I had fun with this. This was dope. I'm glad Clarence came through and my man David from PYP. I didn't see Jose was gonna come last week when it was good because he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, what's up with the interview?" So I don't know if he saw it, if he knew, but I'm gonna hit up Jose probably this week too. But Jose, we did a good one with Jose too. But you know, we have a nice little like connection here, man. Boxing with Chris, Four Corners is another one. I want to get them on.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm cool with them. I mean, everybody, you know, in the media here in New York that does the media and that goes to the fight, they do great jobs. And, you know, and it's all about promoting the fighters and having fun with it. And I mean, I haven't met anybody in the media that's just jerks. I mean, everybody's pretty cool and nice, very respectful. You know, I remember my first time getting credentials and being at the press, I was a little bit nervous, whatever. And then I opened up and, you know, and then I think I met you at the Top Rank joint. Who's another? I'm missing one in particular that my boy is an Arsenal fan. Damn, I can't. Corner Man Boxing is another one. You know, he does good content as well. Corner Man. You know, so yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people. You know, I think that's what I want to do. I want to start, you know, sharing your guys' experiences to show, like, you know, what we're doing out here to get, you know, to bring the content. You know, because there's really no media. There's no boxing media, really. You know, we're pretty much the boxing media, you know. So, and I say we because I feel like I'm part of it. I'm not doing a good job as Johnny Boy, but you know, I'm saying,
nah,
you know, that's what the boxing media is, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, you turned sideways on me, bro. You good? Oh, he froze up. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, you could leave them in the chat and let me know. We'll answer them. You know, if not. You know, it was a good interview. I didn't want to be too long. I'm not completely human. I'm half dragged. This guy is insane. You know what I'm saying? So any questions for us, you can leave them. Johnny Boy probably, I don't know, he kind of froze for a minute. But yeah, man, this was fun. I had a good time with it. Next week, I'm going to try to bring somebody else on, and we'll have fun with it. Tomorrow, Tomorrow I will be on at 8 o'clock, but I will be hosting for another channel, my boy Rich Mancuso, who is Boxing Media. He's one of the last of the real boxing media and real media in general. Rich Mancuso for the Bronx, New York. He writes for Latino Sports. I believe he writes for another newspaper and another internet outlet. He covers baseball, he covers boxing, he covers wrestling. So he's got a show on YouTube, and it's streamed to different platforms. I'm going to be hosting and covering the show for him. He has a personal emergency he has to take care of, so I'm going to be hosting. So catch me tomorrow 8 o'clock. Rich Mancuso. I'm going to have Keith Colon on. He's going to be my guest because I've had Keith Colon on a few times and I got a good relationship with him. So just to make the show a little bit easier for me hosting a different show for somebody else. So Keith Colon will be my guest. We'll talk a little boxing and we're going to talk a little bit wrestling. That's what he does. It's called Keep It in the Ring. I'll post it on my community post, and I will it'll be streamed on my YouTube channel as well. So Keep It in the Ring with Rich Mancuso. I'll post the links later on. So we'll talk a little boxing. We'll do a little wrestling. I know people like wrestling, maybe not as much as me. Netflix, Monday Night Raw on Netflix was pretty good. Not as good as I thought it would be, but, a lot of people talking about it. So we'll speak about that as well. So catch me tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Keep It in the Ring, covering for my man, Rich Mancuso. And then on Friday, we'll be back at with Friday Night Sports Talk. My man D Free will be here. Hopefully my Dominican brother Socrates Palmer will be on as well. We may have a guest, we may not. I'm working to get a fighter on. I mentioned it earlier today. I don't want to say it again because I don't want to oversay it and just in case he doesn't come on. But I'm working to have him on Friday. If I don't get him on Friday, I'll do it sometime in the weekend because I think Friday will focus more on football. Since we're doing a lot of boxing and wrestling talk this week, I'll probably focus more on the football playoffs this Friday. Shout out to my man, A1 Hoop Zone, bro. Thank you with the super sticker, $10 super sticker. I very much appreciate that. Salute to you. Follow my man, A1 Hoop Zone, for basketball. He covers basketball. He does a great job covering basketball, and he has a great channel there. So follow my man, A1 Hoop Zone. And appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Joe, bro. Shout out to man Oppin LD. Thanks for coming through, man. Salute to you. Salute. And so I guess Johnny Boy's not coming back on. Let me see what happened. I wanted him to say goodbye and promote the channel. Let me see. I don't know what happened. I'm going to just hit him up. He froze, so he might be having problems. But I think I'm going to end the live, guys. But I really appreciate everybody that came through. If you didn't catch the beginning. I posted Johnny Boy's link in the chat. His link is in the chat. It's pinned. Check him out. He does great interviews. Also, Fight Hype. He's also there on Fight Hype, but you know who Johnny Boy is by his shirt and by his voice. So because in Fight Hype they have different interviews from different guys. Kevin Garcia is one of them. That's another good friend of mine as well. So maybe I'll have him on also. So you can catch it on Fight Hype, and then also Johnny Boy Boxing on his channel as well. So, and yeah, man, that's it, man. Appreciate everybody that came through, man. This was a great show. And where's my man William? He says, Thomas. Oh, that's what's up, William, man. Salute to you guys, man. That's what's up, man. Great job, man. I'm gonna hit you guys up. If I'm on Friday, it's gonna be tough because I go on Friday nights. But I'll go and show love. I got D1's number too, so I've texted him back and forth, and I know he's gonna be here for the Tank fight. So I'm hoping to link up with him at the fight in the Barclays. So, man, that's what's up, man. Congratulations, man. That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. You guys don't like Shakur, but that's awesome. I'll just mess with you guys. But yeah, guys, I'm done. I'm gonna call Johnny Boy, see if he's good. That's it, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Check out BVO. I don't know if he's coming on later on. BVO Boxing. That's my guy. I believe he's in the process of getting monetized. I think he just got monetized, or he's waiting for the response. I think he just hit the criteria. He was telling me earlier today. So shout out to my man BVO Boxing. Salute to him. My man D Free's on there as well. D Free be all over, man. He's the greatest co-host alive, right? We co-hosted in everybody's channel. So shout out to him, and shout out to you guys that came through. I really appreciate you guys, big time. All right, so oh man, yo, hey. Hey, what? You guys are crazy. But yeah, man, I'm out. Take care, everybody.